Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm finally doing the 1,000 subscribers Q&A video, and thank you guys so much for reaching 1,000 subscribers. I'm very excited because I love working on this channel and doing cute little videos for you guys, doing my makeup, talking to you guys. It really is enjoyable for me and I'm glad you guys like it as well. So let's just start it off with some basic questions. First one I got a couple times is, how old are you? I am 23 years old this year and I'm turning 24 next month. I'm excited to turn 24, but I'm also a little worried. Now everyone tells you once you turn 25 you'll go through a midlife crisis or a quarter life crisis, and I mean right after I turn 24 all I'm gonna be thinking about is when I turn 25. Time passes by so fast, I feel like, when you're in your 20s, because it feels like just yesterday I was 19. There was a long period of my life where I still felt like I was 15 or 16. I don't know if you guys feel like that, but I just recently started to feel like I'm 19. Because for like all of my 20s before this year I felt like I was 16, and now I just feel like I'm 19, which is significantly older. Next question is, what do you do for your skincare? And I definitely mentioned this in one of my videos. I talked about how when I was in high school and in university, I struggled a lot with hormonal acne, and I went to my doctor and he diagnosed me with PCOS and told me that the only way I can manage my acne symptoms was with birth control. So I did the blood tests and got prescribed birth control. A lot of my friends and other girls that I know don't want to take birth control because it can really mess with your hormone levels and your mood swings and, you know, a lot of other health complications like mental health, physical health. It increases your risk of breast cancer and heart attack and stroke. Those are all things that a lot of people are not comfortable with risking, and that's totally fair, and I don't recommend it for everybody. But for me at the time, I was 16, it was more important for me at the time to improve my self-esteem and confidence, because that's what I was struggling with so much. I could see past the other possible risks and complications. To this day I'm still taking birth control, so that's why my skin is really clear, except for the occasional pimple, you know. I always try to treat it how I can. I try not to, you know, bug them too much, but honestly I'm kind of addicted to popping my own pimples, and that's what makes it worse, really, like scarring. And yeah, don't do it. But okay, I'll tell you anyways what I do for my skincare. I wash my face with 2 different cleansers during the day. This is pretty new for me as well. Like, this is a new skincare routine. This is what I use in the mornings because I like to cleanse my face with something that doesn't have exfoliants in it, since I use an exfoliator, a daily exfoliator, at night during my showers. So I do one cleanse in the morning with no exfoliant in it, no like little scrubber, and then I use this Amino Daily Brightening Scrub in the shower at night, and that's after I take off my makeup with oil makeup remover. I have 2 different kinds for that. I use the e.l.f. one, or this, I'll look for it and insert a picture here. I think it's a French company, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, L'Occitane, L'Occitane, anyways, I'll put it there. And then okay, this is the moisturizer I've been using. My mom actually got me this and it works really well, but before that I was always using this Cetaphil moisturizer. My skin is super sensitive, so I always stick to like very minimal products, and it works for me. So, and then I sometimes use this toner in the daytime or nighttime after my shower, just once a day whenever I feel like it. So there's no real like schedule or reasoning that I do it. It's just like when I want to feel more clean, like if I'm feeling really oily or gross that day, in the morning or at night I'll use that. Sunscreen, of course, always sunscreen. It's been a new implementation into my routine because, you know, it's really important for your skin in terms of aging and skin cancer and protection from UV and all that. So I always use that every day, especially when it's sunny outside. The next question is, are you seeing anybody? And the answer is yes, I am seeing somebody, and no, I'm not single, but I am very happy right now, guys, and he's a very nice guy, and I hope things go really well. Next question is, what is my backdrop, or what is that thing in my background that is in every video? That is actually part of what I do for work. I think a better way to answer this question is first to talk about what I do for work. So I am a civil engineering intern, which means I am training to get my engineering license. That's how it works in Canada. Basically, what I do is I work with civil engineers in transportation, more specifically designing highways, infrastructure, and that type of stuff. I don't know if you guys are interested in hearing about it, but basically in engineering, there's tons of drawings, construction sites that we work on to build these new infrastructures and make changes to the existing environment, and these are often really big stretches of land, highways, whatever it might be. So this is basically an entire stretch of the highway, and these sheets each show detail of each corner of each part of the highway. The reason why it's so big is because one picture, one sheet does not show enough detail of the entire roadway or the entire portion of a project. And so often what you'll see in these like big engineering projects is that they have tons of drawings where they need to tape together to create a map of the entire section, and it's really cool. So yeah, that's what this is. It's a big drawing of a highway, basically, with details of construction. And yeah, I'm very proud of what I do, and I love my day job as much as I love my YouTube. Maybe I like my YouTube a little bit more, but that's because it's like something I dreamed about since I was a kid. So YouTube is very special to me. I hope I can continue to do this for a long time, both my YouTube and my day job. Okay, so a subscriber asked me this question. Would you talk about what helped you become self-aware and how you found the reasons for the toxic beliefs and tendencies that you held? I think that's a great question. And all my life, I kind of knew and had a feeling that I was a lot more serious and negative and pessimistic than my peers, my friends, my classmates. At like 12 years old, I was always consistently feeling like, why is everybody able to be so happy? Why are they able to be so social and fit in with everyone and not struggle with self-image and all this type of stuff? But as I grew older, it was going into university where I finally understood that my household was the #1 contributing factor to the negativity in my brain, because I was just surrounded by constant toxicity at home. Parents always fighting, parents always criticizing me, and I didn't see past that in high school or middle school or elementary school, because that was just my normal, that was my life, my consistent daily base. I didn't have any exposure to anything else other than my family life, and I thought it was normal for so long to be upset, to be constantly worried, to not know how I would feel that day because of how my home environment was. Like, some days would be calm, some days would be pleasant. You know, everyone was nice-ish to each other. The next day, everyone hates each other, everyone's yelling at each other, everyone's telling each other to die or go kill themselves and stuff like that. And it wasn't until going to university, meeting different people, spending a lot more time away from home. I still lived at home, but I would spend like 12 hours at school with my friends, telling each other about our families, learning about each other's lives, and I realized my life growing up wasn't normal. And the question is, how did I find the reasons for my toxic beliefs? Is meeting more people, talking to people, and having people tell me like, why are you so, this and that. That's when I started thinking, maybe like my childhood wasn't the best for me growing up, and it really changed the way I felt and saw the world and saw everything as negative. And I don't blame my parents for it, but what you tell your kids, how you speak to them, the way you deal with adversity, the way you deal with problems shows them how they will deal with problems. It will transfer to them in the real world. So I wouldn't be able to deal with conflict because my parents didn't know how to deal with conflict. They would just explode at each other, freak out every time something mildly wrong happened, and that's how I became so anxious all the time. And I realized like I was doing okay for a little bit, where I was just surviving, trying to ignore the fact that like everything was pointless anyways, all this negativity in my head. My friends were nice. I'm sure they felt like I was very pessimistic and not fun to be around at times, and there were just times where I felt like they could never understand me when I would talk about like my troubles at home, when I would talk about how difficult it is being at home. It's like I was the only one that was kind of feeling that way. And that's when I realized like maybe it's something else, like maybe it's me. It took me until I was 23, so literally this age, but last year. So how much 12 months can change your life is really insane. I would go through bad relationships and I wouldn't do anything about it. I would just stay the same. I wouldn't change myself or look into myself and see what I can do to reshift my mindset, because I didn't think it was possible. So I started going to therapy when I was in my last relationship, but I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was doing it for my partner at the time, and that was not smart. Okay, that is where I started to learn, first of all, that my family is not normal, and that's the huge major factor in why I was the way I was, so negative, pessimistic, self-hating, all that type of stuff. And that was the tip of the iceberg. But I didn't really click with that therapist. It didn't do much for me. It just made me realize and feel validated for the fact that, yeah, it wasn't all my fault the way that I turned out. Then I finally found a good therapist after my breakup, and that therapist changed my perspective. Like, she validated me so much. She made me realize that a lot of my beliefs and my tendencies come from what I know and what I've learned as a child. Like, I can't blame myself for it, but what I can do is change that mindset. I think it takes getting to a certain point of being disrespected and being hurt to realize that you really need to change. After my last breakup, I was at a really low point in my life. I hated everything. I still carry that negative mindset. I still felt like everything was meant to fail, and life was depressing to me. And my home life made me feel like I was trapped. I live at home still, and staying at home a lot makes you feel like life is just stagnant, you know, like you're not going anywhere in life. And that's how I felt. I felt like trapped in my home, this toxic environment that was constantly feeding negativity into my brain, and just having lost this relationship I was in for a while made me feel super trapped and lost in my life. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have any direction, really, any passion. So I went to therapy because I really knew that I needed it. I found another therapist that ended up really working out and working for me. I just want to say that if you guys feel like you don't know what's wrong with you, or there's something that makes you different from your peers and you can't relate to anyone and no one can seem to understand your problems and struggles, the answer is it was probably your upbringing. That's the answer to questions in therapy. You need to look at how you were raised and the people that are currently surrounding you and the people you spend most time with. And I love my family, but it boils down to your family and close friends and whoever is influencing you. Because while you might not think that they really influence you, spending time around people that much, learning their way of life, their perspectives, it's gonna shift yours too. It seems like an obvious answer, but not everybody really is aware of it and thinks about it that way and thinks about ways they can improve and change. Like, if someone in your family is causing you to think a certain negative way, first of all, you need distance. And it's hard to distance yourself from your parents, from your sister, your brother. But if they're negatively impacting the way you feel about life and yourself, I think it's necessary. Only until you become so sure of yourself, so strong in your beliefs and how you see the world and feel about the world, you need to stay distant, because you will be swayed if you're not certain about how you feel. And that's how I was for most of my life, very indecisive. Anytime I made a little bit of progress, I thought maybe I could reintegrate myself with my family that are influencing me negatively, and maybe that'll fix things. Maybe I'll be able to convince them to see things the way I see things. They're just older and they have their own set perspectives in life, and they won't change it for you. So you need to stay focused on what you feel and what you think and work on that, and just be you. Like, your parents won't change for you. You're not going to change for them. Just be the version of yourself you want to be. And sometimes that takes distance, emotional distance. If you can't create physical distance, if you live at home, spend more time away from home or in your room. Spend time doing your hobbies. Spend time talking to people that align with you. A subscriber left me a comment, a story about how she got played by this guy, a bad experience with a guy. And I will leave the screenshots here if you guys want to read the full comment, but I'll summarize. Basically, she met this guy on a dating app, and they had a good connection, I think, and basically he and her became intimate before having a label on it. And she was looking for something more serious when he was not, but wasn't clear about it. And basically she was hurt because after they were intimate, he said he didn't want something serious. It happens so often in the dating world nowadays, where miscommunication, unclear intentions. When I was younger, I would fall for these guys that were promising me things that they didn't end up being able to deliver. They were just lying to get into your pants and promising you things that you want to hear, like, oh, I want to be with you, I would love to spend the rest of my life with you, type of stuff. But the point is, although it's unromantic and not sexy, you need to ask people what they're looking for. I feel like if two people are looking for a long-term relationship, they need to be upfront and clear about that's their end goal in dating. I know a lot of people are hesitant about doing that because they feel like they might scare the other person away with the thought of commitment or the thought of being in a relationship. The thing is, just saying that you're looking for a long-term relationship does not necessarily mean that you're looking for a long-term relationship with them. If you're clear in your intentions of what you're looking for and they're clear, you will know that you will respect each other's boundaries, hopefully. And if not, at least you had put it out there in the first place, and it removes any possibility of confusion or reduces the risk of someone getting hurt. So for example, she says that she doesn't want to get intimate with someone unless they're her boyfriend. That's something that she should have said in the beginning. I'm not blaming her. I'm saying that it's happened to me. It's a common mistake, but you need to be clear that that's what you think and feel. Like, I would not be intimate with someone unless I'm sure they were serious about me, and the only way you can really do that is by taking the steps that you need to take. Be clear about what you want, be firm on your boundaries. So say, I would only be comfortable doing this with you if you were my boyfriend. I'm looking for a long-term partner in dating. And then he says what he's looking for. They align, that's great. And then maybe he tries to get intimate with you before he's your boyfriend, saying, oh, I would only do this with my boyfriend. And you know, if he's respectful and respects you, he will understand. He'll say yes, okay. And then, you know, maybe ask to be the boyfriend or girlfriend, and then okay, you guys are boyfriend girlfriend, and now you can do whatever it is you're comfortable with doing. Like, make sure you're firm on your boundaries and what you're comfortable with and enforce them. Don't let guys break and push your boundaries, because they're testing you, you know, they're testing how much you will let them take from you. They're testing how serious you are about your boundaries, how much you respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, he won't respect you. That is the lesson. Also, focus on their actions, not their words. So I also once dated this guy who was like, oh, I want you to be my girlfriend, whatnot. And then he was like, oh, actually, I'm moving to America to do this program, and I don't know how to be a good boyfriend, and like, this is my first. Focus on their actions, not their words. You know, if he's saying one thing, I want you to be my girlfriend. Oh, another thing. Oh, he's moving away and he's like, oh, I'll never see you again. Like, this happened to me. It's gonna happen to other girls. That's just the way it is. Unfortunately, people will lie to get what they want. Next question is, do you believe in multiple soulmates instead of one soulmate? For example, living in certain countries or places, or a few possible soulmates in a different continent. Do you think soulmates are based on choices or decisions and paths you take down in life? This is a great question. I believe in soulmates, and I think the way I believe in soulmates is different than most people, like the way they describe it. It's not romantic per se, it's like a connection you have with a person in this world. And yes, of course, there's people all around the world that you will never maybe get the chance to meet, which is unfortunate, but people all over the world have a possibility of connecting with you on this deeper level. And that's how I see soulmates. Is it can be platonic, it can be romantic. I just describe it as like this instant connection you have with a person that is so rare, and there's always that one person in your life or two people that you feel like, wow, you connect so deeply with them and you don't feel that way about anyone else. How else can you explain the fact that you have instant connections with some people that feel so hard to explain, some sort of deep connection there that you don't have with just anybody? Yeah, it comes when you least expect it. I don't think it's based on the choices and decisions you make in life. Obviously, certain choices will lead you to meeting this person, but these people just exist and they're going through similar things to you, and they probably have gone down similar life paths and experiences as you. There's like over 7 billion people on this planet. It's not possible to just have one soulmate, and I think that's so beautiful. Anywhere you go in life, there's people that really deeply understand you and can connect with you. Next question is, any tips on combating FOMO and feeling behind in life compared to your friends and peers? I think everybody feels this way sometimes. I get it a lot too, with seeing my friends doing things with other friends, experiencing things that I wish I could experience with my friends or myself, and it's like I don't feel courageous enough to do, or that I just haven't gotten around to doing, and I feel like I can't do them. For example, traveling across the world, seeing different places. Yeah, of course, social media definitely amplifies this problem in life. I think where you see your friends doing things and achieving things, and your colleagues, and they're getting married, they're meeting these people that treat them so well, and they and their friends are so adventurous and they're doing all these cool things that you wish you could be doing, like living outside of their home, going to parties at night with their friends, having a lot of fun. You're like, I just wish I could be doing those things. Like, why am I not cool enough to be doing those things? Or why have my life circumstances not allowed me to be there? And I think this is just like comparing yourself to unrealistic expectations. Like, obviously, yes, there are some people doing those things, but they're just being loud about it. You're doing great things in your life that other people might see as great and amazing, and wow, I wish I was doing those things. My point is, if you're feeling stuck in life and you feel like you're not going anywhere and everyone else is doing all these cool and great things, it's very likely, first of all, that you're not enjoying your life and spending time doing things that make you happy and love. You're just busy focusing on what other people are doing and what you wish you could be doing, and not actually doing them. So I felt like this for a long time, where I was like, I'm not doing anything cool like those people are. I'm not like traveling the world, meeting people and doing all these fun activities and having the time of my life and posting it online so everyone can see. I realized that I wasn't doing enough for myself. There were little goals, at least, that I could achieve on my own and make things happen. You know, take initiative to make things happen for yourself. Don't need to be included in places that you're not welcome in the first place. I used to feel bad about not fitting in with popular kids in university or high school. Like, I wasn't invited to those things because I was just uncool and weird. But like, who cares? I don't want to spend time with people that don't want to spend time with me. There's places that, yeah, maybe I don't fit in, or people make me feel like I don't fit in, but I wouldn't want to be those places anyway. But what do I want for myself? So this is what I had to think about. I was scared of spending time alone. I was scared of doing things by myself. I was scared of being weird, not fitting in. But what does that even mean as an adult? It doesn't matter that you don't fit in, that you're not cool to other people. Doing what you want, what makes you happy, is what makes you cool. So I would be like, I really want to try this ramen place. I really want to try these restaurants by myself. I really want to try this dessert. I really want to explore the city I live in. I want to get closer to some of my friends that I really admire and meet new people. I can do that all myself. Those are things I can achieve by pushing myself and exposing myself to situations that I'm uncomfortable with, like taking new classes, trying new hobbies, doing cool things with my friends. Like, you have friends that you can initiate things with too. You shouldn't just sit there and feel like life is passing you by. Take action and think about what you want out of life, things you want to do, and make them happen. Especially like those little realistic things you've been sitting on, being like, oh, I'll do it later, like, oh, it's not that important. Those things are super crucial and important. Like, I used to think making time for myself, spending time with myself is whatever, like, who cares? If I wanted to read a book, I wanted to go to this cafe, if I wanted to eat at a restaurant, I needed to go with somebody. I needed to wait for someone to ask me. I needed to make sure people wanted to go with me. Now it's like, I want to go to this place and I don't have anyone that wants to go with me. I'm gonna go myself. I can do things myself. I'm capable of achieving the things that I want to do in life and things that make me happy by myself. And if somebody I like, my friend, my partner, wants to do it with me, then do it with me. But I don't need someone to do it with me. I don't need someone to be there to make me happy. I just need myself. I just need my strength and confidence, and, you know, be sure of myself and go after those things that I want for myself, if necessary, by myself. Doesn't mean I want to be by myself, doesn't mean I don't still feel left out sometimes, but the important part is having goals for yourself and working on moving towards those goals. And that's what's gonna make you happy in the long run. That's what's gonna make you feel accomplished and not care about if you're being left out, feeling behind, because no, you're focused on yourself. Like, you're working towards what you want in life. And I think there's also this beautiful quote that I've seen a lot. It's like, life is a journey and no one is on the same path as you. The point is that everyone is on their own journey and everyone has different destinations, and you need to find your own. Nobody is going to be at the exact same place as you in your life at the exact same time. And I know school kind of made you feel that way because everyone was working towards the same goal on the same path, but now everybody is on their own. Everybody has their own aspirations, goals, passions in life, and everybody is gonna go chase them. And there's no way that anybody in any time would be at the same place in life as you, and you would be at the same place in life as them. I hope that helps. Therapy really helped me a lot with that as well. Understand that your life is yours, their life is theirs, and everyone's on their own path, and everyone has their own goals and aspirations, and you need to find yours. You need to work towards them and focus on them, and that way you'll never even think about what other people are doing. People are going to see your life and be like, wow, she's living her life, that's great, and want you to be around them. And at that point, you're going to be so busy and so immersed in it. You get to pick and choose, and you're not waiting for people to come into your life and validate you, because you have your own validation from yourself. This is a final makeup look also. I need to put in these earrings. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for your questions. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'm going out on a date now. So bye, see you in the next one.